Roll the intro.
Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor. Give me Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor. Give me Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor. Give me Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor, Kurtis Connor. Give me Kurtis Connor.
Okay, what's up? My name's Kurtis Connor. We're back with another video. I wasn't planning on recording a video tonight, but I saw a certain BuzzFeed article show up on my Twitter, and I couldn't really not address it. The article is called "Sorry to break this to you, but Jim from The Office is actually a dick." And the title alone is enough to infuriate me, because I'm very pro Jim. I love The Office. It is probably my favorite TV show, and Jim is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. So for some BuzzFeed employee to be like, he actually sucks, it's not cool. They're saying that Pam should have ended up with Brian, the boom mic guy, and not Jim. I'm very passionate about this, so I'm going to go through each one of their points and either agree with it or dispute it. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I can, but as I said before, I'm very pro Jim, so it's going to be tough, but I'll do my best. BuzzFeed. They're buzz-feeding you lies. Okay, first of all, it's worth pointing out that Jim doesn't start off as a dick. His dickishness increases over time. Starts the night he's turned down by Pam, he still follows her to the empty office and kisses her anyway, even though she said no. Okay, so I understand that part a little bit, but Pam was going through a lot, with Roy not really being the best fiancé to Pam, and her having these feelings, and Jim having these feelings, and both of them kind of knew. You could tell by the kiss that, it wasn't, they're both pretty passionate about it, I think. And Jim put himself out there twice, and Pam said no twice. And Jim had another offer to go to Stanford, so he took it. It's not like he's gonna stay there after all that. That'd be really tough for him. Next. Number 2, his treatment of Karen. He persuades Karen to move to Scranton, then he's weird with her, okay? He gets pissy. Alright, so now I can't take this article seriously at all. He gets pissy when the new apartment she finds happens to be close to his house, so he doesn't want her to take it. When Karen asks if he ever had a thing for Pam, he says no, why? That's a direct lie. Then when she finds out he did have a thing for Pam and wants to talk it through, he's a jerk about that as well. Okay, she decided to move back to Scranton with Jim, and wants to get an apartment very close to Jim. After the whole Pam thing, and he's in this new relationship, I don't think he'd be too stoked for everything to be moving really quickly, And he's trying to put the Pam thing behind him. He probably should have said something, but that's tough to be in that situation, especially if you're working with someone and you had a huge crush on them. That's gonna make things insanely awkward for everybody. So yeah, there's better ways you could have done that, but he's not perfect, No one is. And they call him a jerk for saying, Karen and I have had a long talk last night and the night before that and every night for the last 5 nights. That's not really a dick thing, it's just a fact. He's not stoked on bringing up those old emotions and stuff and having it affect his current relationship, He wouldn't be too happy about that. So that's not really a dickish thing to do. Next, Em had her art show, where was Jim? Okay, you're contradicting yourself. Jim was talking to Karen, trying to fix his current relationship. If he went to Pam's art show, it would have made things worse with Karen, and that would be a pretty dickish thing to do, right? BuzzFeed? And you said he was busy pranking Dwight by pretending he turned into a vampire, which is one of Jim's best pranks. Okay, next, his treatment of Pam sucked quite a lot of the time after they got together. Okay, they're talking about the dinner party episode when they try to leave, and Jim is like, there's a flood in my apartment, I need to go. And they're saying that it was mean of him to go and not bring Pam. He tried that at first, it didn't work out. Then he comically said that he would go just himself and leave Pam at the dinner party. Which is pretty funny, and considering this is a comedy show. Next, when Pam tries to fake a call to get out of lunch with her mom and Michael, Jim sabotages her. Pam was being pretty immature about that whole thing. It is very tough, I know, and that's what I said before, so I guess he could have done that a little better. He did show some understanding, but ultimately he wanted Pam's mom and Michael to be happy, and he wanted Pam to understand that Michael was making his mother happy. Her mother happy, sorry. So yeah, I guess he could have been nicer, but then that would have been funny. That would have just been boring and this is a comedy show. Season 5 doesn't pay any attention to anything Pam tells him about her art course. He seems a bit frustrated that she's called him at all. Okay, so he tries. Pam is in this whole new spot, doing all this cool stuff, and Jim is stuck at work, and then she calls him, and he tries to understand, and she's talking very quickly. That scene isn't him being mean, it's him genuinely not understanding the story. So, your facts are not good. Okay, next. 7. Fact that he bought Pam a damn house without telling her. Okay, this one, when I first watched it, I was like, that's really nice of him, I didn't see the problem. Obviously, maybe it would have been better, so it would have been smarter for sure if he, like, talked to her at first, but, like, that's not Jim's style, you know? He's, like, he's not impulsive, but he's, like, romantic, and he's, yeah, I guess impulsive. But he did that to ensure that they would have a good future together. He'd have a house that they own together for their future kids, you know? Sure, there were better ways to do it, but it wasn't, like, mean or anything, it was just a little dumb. But it was nice, and it worked out, and everything is great, alright? Next! Why will he never participate in anything? Who refuses to dress up at Halloween? A lot of people. He's an adult. He's an adult man, he can do what he wants. If he doesn't want to dress up for Halloween, he doesn't have to. All the times he did dress up for Halloween, the costumes were really funny. And Phyllis laughed at his one costume when he was 3-hole punch. Everyone loved it. Next! Mediocre co-parent at best and leaves Pam to pick up the slack with Cece way too often. This point is silly. They're taking these one small comedic situations and attaching it and saying it's like a pivotal character point, which is not. That was one episode where Dwight came in and helped Cece, and Jim was like, okay, he's got it. That's my friend, and I trust him. Next! When he gets the best dad Dundee, does he mention Pam? No, of course he does not. Okay, that's just funny. That's just a funny scene. I don't understand someone watching that and being like, oh, what a dick. Say Pam's name. Obviously, he wouldn't be the dad he is without Pam, but Jim wouldn't be funny if he did the things that you wanted him to do. Next! 11. He's the least supportive colleague ever. Jim and Pam get in a car with Erin, and she said she's eating lunch in her car because she doesn't like spending time with Gabe. Then he gets out and says, sorry, that just wasn't interesting to me. That's pretty funny. Obviously, he didn't say that to them. It was like, he was like, I'm not needed here. Pam was the one that was leading the conversation, talking to her, and it was just those two. And he was like, Pam's got this. I trust my wife. BuzzFeed. Next! So he's bitching about his job and imagining running away or doing something else. Okay, so he's stuck. He's been stuck in his job that he doesn't like for a long time. Everyone's guilty of that. You know? You get in your routine, and you get comfortable, and it's tough to do something else, you know? But Jim actually had the balls to do it later on. Next! So yeah, he takes the athlete job without telling Pam. That could have been done better as well. A lot better. He could have told her. But again, TV show needs conflict. Nobody's perfect. Jim, that's one of his flaws. He's impulsive. He's ambitious. He's passionate about things that he loves. And sometimes those collide with each other. And hey, that makes for great television and great character development. BuzzFeed. Next. If that wasn't enough, he then decides to invest $10,000 in an athlete to look like a team player. Yeah. He did that because it was something he believed in. Sure, he was pressured into it and probably could have consulted Pam first, obviously, because it's a lot of money. Sure, I'll give you that one. Probably could have talked to Pam first. It's a lot of money. Next! This best dad isn't too sad to be several hundred miles away from his own kids. Okay, he obviously misses his family, but he's out doing something that he really loves to do, you know? He's not out there being like, did you watch the show? Next, BuzzFeed. Jim tells all his new colleagues he's planning to move to Philly. Do you know who he doesn't tell? Yeah, I guess he doesn't tell Pam that. That is tough, though. If they're like, Jim, when are you moving here? And he's like, I'm not moving here ever. I'm gonna make it really difficult for everyone involved. Sure, communication can be tough, and Jim learned that the hard way, unfortunately. But everything worked out in the end. BuzzFeed, next. Then he misses Cece's dance recital and makes Pam cry. Yeah, relationships are really brutal sometimes. Some things happen, and then they yell at each other. They both had conflicting arguments. They are a couple in a fight. That happens literally thousands of times a day. Millions, probably. Crazy. Jim's such a dick. Next. Oh wait, what's this? Why, it's Brian, the extremely handsome boom mic operator, of course. I'm starting to think that this person just really has a crush on that actor, and is using this as a sort of way in to maybe seduce this actor. That's my conspiracy theory. Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, today we're back with another conspiracy video. I'm just kidding. Back to it. She should have ended up with Brian. That's a fucking lie. If Pam ended up with Brian, Pam and Brian, Brian, stupid. Next. Protected Pam from that vindictive warehouse guy too. Yeah, he protected Pam like any other decent human being would do. He wasn't gonna be like, hey, not my wife. I'm not gonna protect her. Stupid. It's so stupid. Okay, next. Just admit it, guys. I'm right. How much more proof could you possibly need? Jim and Pam should be together. Join Team Brian. You're lying if you think that I'm ever gonna join Team Brian. Closing statements. Whoever wrote that article, good luck on your journey to date Brian, or the actor who portrayed Brian. I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship before, but there's a lot of ups and downs, you know? The way that you get back to the ups after the downs is the important part, and that's what Jim and Pam did in the most amazing and moving way. Jim realized that his new job was having an impact on Pam and his kids, and those are the most important things in his life, and he realized that, and he fixed it, and that's way more than a lot of dudes would do. And Brian just got a divorce, and was maybe just looking for someone to like comfort him, and he was looking for someone to, I don't know, maybe like rebound or something like that. Sure, he cared for Pam, but it wasn't anything like Jim cared for Pam. I mean, I'm not shading Brian.
Shading Private Brian.
Great dude. Thanks for saving Pam. But in terms of Jim being a dick, he did some things that probably could have been done better, same as everybody else in life. And he also did some pretty funny things, which could make him seem like a dick if this was real life, but it's a funny show, fictional TV show. Fictional TV show that I sat down for 20 minutes and talked about, more passionately than I've talked about most things in my life. Alright, well that's my 2 cents. Jim is not a dick. BuzzFeed, you're wrong. Quit BuzzFeeding these people lies. I'm getting buzz fed up with all this. Jesus. Alright guys, that's it. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment and say if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Say your whole thoughts on this whole Jim being a dick thing. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. There's not much to debate. Let's do it. And subscribe because I make videos pretty frequently and they're great. They're lots of fun. I've been Kurtis Connor. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.